Good morning and welcome to Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show. We sure did miss you guys. I know we had like a week off. I was about to say last week, but thank God we're here to give you guys the best as usual in entertainment, education, and information. We'll be having very, very interesting topics today, and I'm your host, Banda Tandiwe. Of course, I'm not alone. We have Precious on the other side. I'm debating whether to use your surname or your first name.
It's actually confusing when you go like Banda Tandiwe.
Exactly.
So now you want to start my name with my surname.
Like,
Precious. No, Sakalejum Zea Precious. Don't even know that.
How's your week been?
My week has been okay. There's a lot that has been going on here and there, both in the current affairs and also on social media. But otherwise, we're pushing. It's almost Christmas.
Last time I looked forward to Christmas, it was like probably 10-15 years ago.
I am excited.
Why?
I don't know. You know, festive season is like a month of, or a season of giving, receiving. Those that
isn't that just a statement though?
No, it's not. I feel the love. I'm already in the Christmas spirit because we've been trying to get ready for our programming, for festive season programming. So I've been watching a whole lot of Christmas cartoons and movies. So that puts me in the spirit. So I'm looking forward. So
I should assure the Camnet TV viewers that this festive season we have great packages for you. It's time to be glued to your TV stations and. Schools are closing, right? Or is it that because of COVID there's no closure?
No, there is closure, and then the ones that are in examination classes I think are starting in the next few days, if not a week. That's grade 12. I know grade 12s. I'm not sure about the grade 9s.
Okay.
So next year when they resume classes, it's not the one that was going around to say it's term 4. It's actually term 1 of the other grade, but the teachers have been taught to make sure that they catch up with the, what do they call them, curriculum?
I have exams, I think, in December. So Christmas for me is...
You'll be busy with the books.
I'll probably be studying on Christmas Day, on Christmas Eve.
No, don't worry, I'll send you those Christmas cards and yeah.
But anyway, moving forward, we all know what's been going on in our country. We all know what we're looking forward to, and that is the 2021 general elections. This brings so much excitement to me. More excitement than Christmas, really.
Wow, okay, shut down, but I'm still excited.
More excitement than Christmas, because I'm looking forward to the 2021 general elections. And I finished my process, by the way.
Online?
I finished my process online. The only thing that was setting me back was, you know, every time I would want to continue, they would ask me for my NRC, the back and front. And then my NRC would probably be in the car or far from me. So yesterday I just got my file, took the picture. It was in the morning. I didn't even mind whether I was looking a certain type of way for that photo. So there's a part that requires you to hold your NRC and take a picture of yourself. And yeah, I almost smiled about it. It's like, okay, let's do this. So I took that picture, and now they sent me back feedback to say you can go and collect your finish your process and collect your photos. Yeah, so I'm actually looking forward. I'll be going to one of the areas right here in Kablonga. So finally that's done. I can't wait to get probably I'll do it today.
Nice.
That's more exciting than Christmas.
I'm still excited about Christmas. Very excited.
But I thought you are.
The Christmas tree, the flowers.
I think Christmas trees are now only mounted at grandma's houses, or
I'm getting one for my
sister's gonna do it because of her kids.
I'm gonna get one for.
But we need one for the studio as well.
Don't worry, that's covered. Relax.
We have a Christmas tree.
I got you.
Okay, maybe you guys then will put me in that Christmas mood. But so much has been happening concerning the voting, the voter registration process. And there's been great feedback from the public. I heard something to say if you're going to turn 18 by, is it May
next year?
Yes, you can still go and register. And to me, all this means we have more people, more people that are going to register, more people that are going to be able to make the right decision for the entire country.
Yes, of course. And also, so that requires you to get your voter NRC, National Registration Card first, if you're going to turn 18 next year by May, and then after that you can go and get your voter's card. And also now the question that people are asking is, due to the slow pace of someone getting their voter's card, should voter registration period be extended? So that's the question, because majority of the people, there was a story I remember just in the course of this week, where some registration offices were centers were actually about to close when there were people in the queues. It took the Lusaka mayor, his Miles Sampa, to actually go through there and tell them, no, you can't actually close the center when you have the people in the queues. So such things have been happening. Not that the media might have reached to all these places, but we're also looking at the rural areas. People have actually had situations where you're standing in the queue and it's time for the center to close. They actually close down while in the queue, so that requires you to come back again the following day. But I like the stance that they have taken, ECZ, whereby they have selected centers where it's 24/7. One of them is Civic Center and also the Lusaka Showgrounds. So if you go there, I've been seeing some statuses where somebody went at 22 and got their voter's card at 5. It's a determination for me. Yeah, you go at 22 hours and you're out at 5. That's actually happening. So now the question is, should they extend the voter registration? I'm sure they'll just consider
this is probably one of his children, you know, just
wow.
Just like they did for a certain political party leaders. But then my mom or my dad won't be there to like say, no, let her wait in the queue. So I'll just be like, yeah. No, they'll know
the secret is to go very early. Either early or very late. Early, that's probably like 4, 3. Late, that's probably like 23, midnight, 22.
So like, it just takes you a few minutes.
Takes a few minutes. Like even within an hour, you get your voter's card.
Okay, so I guess we need to go into our sports segment. As usual on this particular show, we ensure that you are fit and healthy by encouraging you to take part in sports activities and just be able to exercise every morning. Not once in a month, not once in a year. I know most of us are culprits of eating fatty foods, junk foods, like some people we know on set. But you see what that does to your body in the long run, the effects that does, especially if you don't exercise or, you know, eat the right type of foods. Junk food can be very, very good.
But it has its consequences.
You know, but you need to remember, every time I'm eating this chicken, fried chicken and stuff, I'm sure when you go buy food, let's say at a certain place, I won't mention the name, you see how they deep fry the chicken, and sometimes they literally, which they're not supposed to do, reuse the oil over and over again. So, you know, those things are deep fried and, you know, there's all that oil, all that chips. As much as it may be so yummy, when you are hungry, the damage it does to your body could be very, very costly.
I know.
So we do join Pastor Isaac, who will take us through our sports. I was about to talk about sports news. Our sports segment.
It's a beautiful morning and I welcome you to Morning Boost. I'm so glad that you've tuned in and hope you had a great night. So let's do some workouts this morning and we're going to have a great time. So we're going to start with a warm-up and then make some aerobics movements for today. Okay, ready? Let's go. A beautiful morning to everybody and welcome to Morning Boost. Let's go. Go. And the V step now. Let's go. Last V step. Back to step touch. V step. Let's go. Let's go. And marching. And 4, 3, 2, step touch, go. Bring in your hands now. Let's go. Let's go. Just a quick workout in the morning. Not a full-fledged workout, no. Keep going. And 4, 3, 2, hamstring, go. 4, 3, 2, step touch. Four, 3, 2, and hamstring. And 4, 3, 2, step touch. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Keep going. Stay at it. Go. Easy basic workouts for the morning. And marching. Skip, jump now. Go. Let's go. Skip. Try this. Even if you feel heavy in your body, you can do this. Let's go. There's always a first time. You may struggle, but it's doable. Let's go. And 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Change now. Let's go. Very easy for a morning workout. Lift your knee very high. Go. Let's go. Stay at it. Stay at it. We're going to bring in a kick now from a knee high to a kick. Go. Go. Let's go. Let there be a blood circulation on your legs so that you don't have that numbness you feel at times. Kick. 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 Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Straight kicks now. Go. Straight kicks. Go in the sides. Okay. Keep going. Almost done with our 5 minutes workout. Knee high. Try this every morning. It's going to do wonders to your body. Let's go. We're almost there. All right, team. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. This is Isaac Matza, your presenter. I'm going to see you next time at the same time. And have a great day. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great day.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with us. Well, remember that this particular show is jam-packed with different items, and we range from political to entertainment to religion to so many different things, and that is why it's a Rise and Thrive breakfast show that comes your way every Saturday to just help you relax and also get to table certain issues that affect our nation, get to have your sports segment as well. So later on the program, we will go through some of our stories where the Vice President was asking that, not asking, but she did advise the ECZ to consider extending the date of the voter registration, as well as so many other elements. Later on, we'll be having Agnes Banda, as we all know, 1st December every single year we do celebrate World AIDS Day. So she will be able to highlight a few factors about that.
Yes, of course. And also on the other side, getting into social media, away from current affairs and what's happening in the political era. Have you heard of SMAS?
Yeah.
Stingy Men Association of Zambia.
Whatever.
There's actually a WhatsApp group for it.
Okay, so what are the guidelines? Because now our nation is all about guidelines.
I'm just trying to figure out why that association was created, but I feel it's just for fun, where all these men that feel shouldn't spend on their partners form an association, and then if you want to give your partner a certain amount of money, you go and consult from the association before you actually spend. So they're calling themselves Stingy Men Association of Zambia. Yeah, a whole group.
Very interesting. I did see it circulating. I saw a bus that was tagged with that on Facebook, SMASAAZ, but I didn't really understand it. Now I get it.
Yeah, so that's what's happening on social media.
So the question that we are posing today is, do you feel the voter registration process should be extended? Remember that you can call in and give us your opinions on the number that is scrolling on the screen, and tell us what you think. Do you think it should be extended? Do you think it will open doors for wrong things? Do you think it will be aware of mischief if they extend, or if they make it shorter? Do you think it will disadvantage certain people that have not been able to register to date? So give us your opinion, and remember, this is your show, so every opinion matters. You can also reach us on our Facebook.
Yes, of course, you can reach us on our Facebook, that's Camnet TV. Not forgetting, you can actually even follow us on Instagram, that's Camnet TV Africa. Like and I'll follow, and we shall follow you back. Not forgetting, you can actually even start a watch party on Facebook. We're live on Facebook right now. Let the comments come through. Do you think the voter registration exercise should be extended, or maybe we stick to the due date, which is the 12th of December 2020? So yeah.
And just moving away from our topic, a subtopic, moving away from what we're talking about, and that is the voter registration process. I don't know if it's in every country, you know, but I feel like in Zambia, if it's not good for you, then it's bad.
If it's not, well, if it's not good for you, then it's bad. If
yeah, like you just be, yes, you would just be negative about it because it doesn't suit your standards, standards or whatnot, or you just feel. Have you ever come across people that just look at you and they're just like, you know what, I don't like you. I don't like pressures.
Intimidated.
Yes, you know, like it's really weird, because I don't see why somebody can just wake up this one morning and you don't like this particular person, or you don't like this particular maybe you don't even know the person, you know, and just because you look at the person just like, oh, you know, I don't like you. I feel like that kind of blocks your blessings, to be honest, because I feel there's something wrong with you if you wake up and you have an issue with somebody who doesn't even know you, who you've never even met,
never even spoken.
Yeah, and I feel like in our country, you know, this past week there's so many things that have mushroomed, and I've just been wondering. I'm like, what is it that we need to change about ourselves? You know, I feel like if you are negative, or if you harbor so much hate. And it brings you down to what scripture says, right? Like, love yourself, love your neighbor. Yes, your neighbor as you love yourself. You see, that part says love yourself. So that entails that you need to love yourself before you can love somebody else. So I was like, could this be why people are so mean towards other people? Why people always want to be negative? There's a particular artist that did wear something in his head on social media this past week. Yeah, and he did go through something where his studio was burnt and all that. And I really don't know what was behind him doing that. I don't know if it was a style or some form of artistical element that he was trying to bring out. But you know, people just went on and on saying negative things. I feel like it's high time, especially as the youths, in terms of using social media platforms. We need to use them for the right reasons. Because you can be very damaging I think it's high time we address certain things. It can be very damaging to a person out there. Have you ever thought about it? There's so many posts that come up on social media, on these pages that we have and all that. And you know, you just go post something. People do take time to see those comments that you actually get to post. And you can literally damage somebody. You can literally derail a destiny because of your evil thoughts. You know, so it's very important as young people, as people of our nation, as much as we have great opinions, we want our opinions to be heard. How you lay them down matters, because you can actually derail or destroy a destiny.
Yes, of course. I actually love the fact that you brought up that thought. One thing that people don't understand, especially if you are an influencer on social media, you have got a number of people, different ages, that are actually looking up to you. So if you make certain statements, it's depressing. Looking at Mumbayachi has always been a controversial artist. I would term him unique. I would tag him as a unique artist, because even his music is not like the ordinary Zambian music. He has a certain way he sells his music. So me looking at the picture that he posted on social media, moving around, and I've forgotten what the caption was saying, but looking at the comments, now we should understand that that's the type of a person Mumbayachi is. He always comes up with something that people will talk about, but it always drives them to something. Okay, like for example, his concert. He has weird outfits for his concert. I remember the last one, he wore a branded suit for a certain milling company. Do you know what that got him? He got him some milli mill. That milli mill, he took it for donation to some orphanages.
I actually thought he was being a brand for that.
It was
just his idea.
It was just his idea, because he wanted to make a suit out of a certain milling company. The deal came through after that. They said, oh, this is what he did. Give him some milli mill. What did he do? He got the milli mill and donated it to some orphanages. So he has a way of attracting certain attention. But if you're going to go on the post and just hate on what somebody is doing, then what are you trying to do?
I want to ask this question. Those people that go on these platforms and like what goes through your mind when you're making that comment? Like, is it to hurt the person? What is it? Like, what is your motive? Is there a motivation that comes after that? Because if you see most people, icons that we've seen on Facebook and celebrities and all that, there's another picture that is trending where this particular celebrity has a weave going on, their own weave. They took a picture, decided to post it on social media. People are making different memes out of that. You know, people are making her face look old. People are talking about the hairline and all that. Does that matter? Is it your weave really?
Why?
You know, how does that move you? How does that build you as a person? By tearing somebody else down, like, how will that build you? How will that help you? You know, we need to be positive. I'm for positive criticism and not negative criticism. If you're gonna walk up to me and tell me, oh, Tandy, I feel you could do this. If you do that, like, be positive. Don't come to me and tell me, oh, I think you should stop doing this. I'm gonna ask you why.
And you
should give me reasons. You know, you need to give me solid reason as to why you feel I shouldn't do a certain thing. Because, you know, like, your opinion does matter.
Sure.
It ought to be respected, but it's your opinion. You know, so it's either I choose to get what you're saying for my life or choose to discard it. So it's really up to me. You can't force me to begin to think like you, because we are all different people and we're all blessed in different ways. On our news, we did have a story.
Yeah, we did.
Where the Vice President Inongewina has discouraged the members of the public, of Parliament, against ferrying people to national registration centers to enable them to get NRCs. Now, she was speaking in Parliament on Friday morning, where she explained that this is putting pressure on officers issuing the NRCs. Mrs. Wina has also explained that the move is against the health guidelines put in place in combating the novel coronavirus pandemic. The Vice President further tells the nation that the Ministry of Home Affairs is considering a budget to enable officers to go back in the field to issue NRCs to those who were left out on the exercise. Meanwhile, Mrs. Wina says ECZ will only consider extending the voter registration exercise only if it fails to register the 9 million voters when the exercise does come to an end on the 12th of December 2020. That is a story that we had. I don't know if our transmission is ready before we can open our phone lines so that people can be able to give their comments and contributions.
Your Honor, the Vice President, it is an indisputable fact that ECZ this time around has failed actually the people of Zambia to perform their duties in terms of voter registration. Yeah. I have a fact, and many of them actually in my constituency in Mufumbwe. One of the failures, or some of the failures, are that sometimes the people that are conducting the registration, they line out of ink. And also the gadgets that they are using, they will reach a certain stage where they would fail them and they would need actually to be reactivated. Are you considering to increase the number of registration days from the 30 days, maybe even to 60 days? Thank you, Honorable Mr. Speaker.
As to the extension of time, we'll observe how the registration goes, and ECZ believes that it will reach the required numbers before the end of the exercise. And at the end of the exercise, an analysis will be made, an assessment will be done as to whether there's need to increase the number of days or not.
Mr. Speaker, rigging is a process but not an event. And the numbers don't lie. This is a clear indication, Mr. Speaker, a PF through the Ministry of Home Affairs is already in the process of rigging the 2021 general elections, looking at how the people of Lusaka province, Southern province, Western province were denied of their NRCs during the mobile NRC issuance.
Registration office is considering to go back to register those that may have missed out during the mobile issuance of NRCs. So the ministry is doing an assessment currently of where the need is and what the cost will be. When the money is secured, the registration team will go back to those areas. And in view of the above, I am discouraging members of parliament from ferrying people to NRC registration centers. And this will put undue pressure on the officers.
I always get excited when I see the Vice President. I don't know why, but it's actually very exciting.
It's good that it's exciting when you see her. Concerning what she was talking about in Parliament, the mobile issuance of national registration card, not a lot of people managed to get their NRC, so now they're trying to put a budget to it so that they go back in giving out NRCs. I feel they should already put a budget. Okay, so where have people taken
the NRCs? Are these people who don't own an NRC, or they had but they lost?
I think it's both. It's those that are getting their NRCs for the first time, and those that need to, what do you call it? Get if it was stolen or it's spoiled or something. Yes, a reprint of the NRCs. I think it's for both. So now I'm thinking they want to put a budget to it, which is an expense, another expense from what they had already budgeted for, which they didn't complete the issuance of NRCs, mobile issuance of NRCs. So now if we have learned from the issuance of NRCs, we might as well put that thought or the wisdom from the previous situation with the issuance of the voter registration cards. So if we've seen that for a certain, if we put a target to say for this period, 9 million voters are supposed to be registered, and we're not even halfway through. And the the due date is almost there. Why not just extend it to avoid we'll obviously put another budget,
I think that
but it won't be
probably
as more as just forgetting and then starting over again.
That will probably be the outcome, though.
I think that would be great.
There's really nothing that can be done except extend it, because we need as many people. We need to capture as many people as possible. And the target being 9 million, I mean, if that 9 million target is not achieved by the end of, is it 12th December? I feel it should be extended, because what's the point?
And that's why I love the fact that she pointed out some member of parliaments that would actually take their relatives or someone they know to the offices and try to get them the NRSs. Like, how special are they? They're just as.
But at the end of the day, it brings out the importance of how somebody needs the NRC.
But still, Tandy, if there's a queue and you know somebody.
But the bottom line is trying to get an NRC
still
for
the
positive
But the process is not right.
Life is like that sometimes. Remember that you can call us on the number 0968 675273, 0968 675273.
We do
have a caller.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, thank you. How are you?
We're all right, thank you.
People going to Mandola.
How is Ndola this morning?
I'm going to school. We are about to take some names.
Okay.
Go ahead with the contribution.
Yeah. I want to start on the insurance of water card. Looking at the pace which the Electoral Commission of Uganda is going, and looking at the time when it started, we are almost close to half of the days which we are given. And the submitted number of 9 million is not even half of that. Meaning that the extension must be there. If citizens are not going to meet the target number, as citizens in Zambia, we are going to take them to court so that the court can nullify all the clauses and allege that back to all the legislature, which they will be compelled to include those new entrants to that legislature. That is my case. Work well in Olaviri.
Thank you.
Work well na imwe bede. Work well in Olaviri.
Work well na imwe bede. Ngamunikunga ndamtusha win.
So remember,
that's a great point.
that you're reaching us on the number 0968 675273. We Zambians are serious about 2021 general elections. We're not playing.
You know, it's actually motivating to see people queue up to get their voters' cards. I've seen quite, and I mentioned earlier, I've seen quite a number of status, someone posting at 6 to say, just got my voters' card from, like, let's say 22, 23. The determination. People know what they really want.
Yeah. Well, I hope people want the right things, you know, like I hope that we all can have a common ground, but I hope that in all our decisions at the end of the day it should be for the betterment of our country. There's a very interesting story that will be coming on as well, where we did talk about it on this particular show, where we were posing the question whether prisoners should be allowed to vote or not. Well, once we are done with the voter registration card, I would love to announce that we will actually start the registration with the prisoners. We do have a call. I'll give you more details.
Wow.
We do have a caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm calling you from Munilunga.
Oh, wow. It's good to know Munilunga. How's Munilunga this morning?
Munilunga is very okay. We have a lot of ready organized.
Are the pineapples ready?
Pineapples are pineapple.
Please go ahead with your contribution.
Yes, my contribution of my extension is that citizens should sit down and make some extension. Bearing in mind that the 9,000 target will not be met, and going by the first, the registration is taking place. Some facts in Munilunga where registration is taking 25 minutes per one person. And in one polling station where a total registered voters are 6,000.
They are only capturing 100 people a day. And if they are capturing 100 people per day, you multiply by 7 days, what they are supposed to, that point is different. They only capture 700. And using the rest of the 4,300 and attending to which is making it will make it difficult for the people and they are enfranchising the voters. And I'm sure this is not going to happen in Munga, but it is countrywide. Citizens should take it seriously and they should continue their waiting to sit down, like the Honda Vice President has mentioned to say, when funds are put. That would be too late. They shouldn't be doing a disservice to the public. And even in the issue of issuing of NRC, it is a must government should give this document to any eligible citizen that has attained 16 years. I'm sure people should sit down to consider extension of police voter registration. Thank you.
All right, thank you for coming through.
Thank you.
I think they will extend. You said
they
something
just
very
have
interesting. You said something very interesting. The prisoners voting.
Yes, they will. The registration process will start after they're done with.
What, they now carry their NRCs in prison?
I don't know how that's going to work. We have a story. We have a story, and we'll be able to give the update. Remember that it's 0968 675273. 1st December 2020, we will be celebrating World AIDS Day. You can also call concerning the theme for this year, which we'll be able to give a little bit later. But 1st December every single year we do celebrate World AIDS Day.
The theme is quite interesting. Very interesting. Ending HIV and AIDS pandemic.
Yeah,
very
great.
Interesting. We'll have Madam Agnes Banda to highlight more on that one.
I think HIV and AIDS now is something that is on the lips of every citizen. It's something that we all know what it is, how it's at least you know how it's transmitted
and how you can protect
You may
yourself.
not know what it is, if it's a virus or a bacteria or whatever, but it's a virus in case you don't know. But like I think everybody has the general idea of what it is and how it's spread. So it's something that has sunk now amongst the citizens, and with that theme in mind, I feel like we would actually be able to.
We can achieve that goal, eh?
It's very possible. Very, very possible. Remember that you're reaching us on the number 0968 675273. Should the voter registration process be extended? If you feel it should be, why? If you feel it should stay the way it is, why? You know, I feel there are always two sides of the coin, or maybe I'm too controversial. I feel like, okay, what if we extend it and it leaves room for mischief?
If Kokora Fidaruban, I remember land.
Okay, and then what if we make it the way it is and people are still disadvantaged and people won't be able to get their voter registration?
Then it beats the purpose of extending
exactly, so there are two sides.
Two sides of a coin.
So if you feel it should be extended, why? If the whole vice president can actually say that ECZ will only consider extending the voter registration exercise only if it fails to register 9 million voters.
We have a caller. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, is that the come on TV?
Yes, you are through to the Rise and Thrive breakfast show.
Yeah, I want to contribute on the voter registration.
Please go ahead. Who are we talking to?
Yeah, you are talking to Francis.
Where are you calling us from? Oh, okay. Go ahead with your contribution.
Yeah, the issue of voter registration, especially on those that are in prison, are they going to produce registration card?
That's what we are yet to find out. We're not really sure how they're going to go about it.
I understand some of them are foreigners. That's rather clear.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, some of them are foreigners, and they need to register all of Zambians that are eligible to vote. It's about
right, thank you.
Maybe we could quickly dive into the story so that we get an update.
Yeah, so Chief Electoral Officer Patrick Mshindano has disclosed that after 12th of December 2020, the system on the voter registration kits will automatically close and no one will be able to register as a voter. Speaking during a media briefing to update the nation on the voter registration exercise, which is in the third phase, Mr. Mshindano disclosed that a total of over 2.7 million voters have so far been registered against the target 9 million voters. The Commission has, however, disclosed that it has no intentions to extend the current voter registration exercise scheduled to end on the 12th of December this year. Meanwhile, the Commission has announced that it will begin the registration of prisoners. Immediately, the exercise comes to an end on the 12th of December 2020.
Okay.
Let's take a look at this clip.
Despite so many calls from different stakeholders and the general public to extend the voters' registration exercise, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, insists of having no intentions to extend the exercise. Chief Electoral Officer Patrick Mshindano, however, disclosed that the Commission may reconsider to extend the exercise after the 12th of December 2020 if it observed that the 9 million target is not met.
There is no intent on the part of the Commission to extend the voter registration exercise. That decision can only be considered once we are done with the voter registration exercise. As it stands, there is no intention on the part of the Commission to extend the voter registration exercise. It's important to note that as a Commission, we are continuously reviewing the numbers as they come in, and would advise the nation indeed after the exercise has been concluded, that is 12th December 2020. We are confident that the statistics are going to improve. As you have noted, second phase, we've had almost a 44% jump. In the third phase, we actually expect an exponential increase and even a higher increase in the fourth phase.
The process, which has seen some challenges during the first and second phase of the voters' registration exercise, the Commission has, however, assured the nation of addressing the challenges encountered during the process. And over 2.7 million voters have been registered in the first and second phase. Mr. Mshindano disclosed this during a media briefing of the third phase this morning.
We have observed the challenges that are on the ground, and we are going to do the needful. And this is why we even led the recruitment of additional staff to be able to provide that service. I did indicate that every registration officer now is being supported by a laminator. And in certain instances, we've provided for additional registration officers and indeed additional laminators. Which brings me to the total number of registration officers in terms of the question. Currently, the addition that we have recruited is 1,100 to beef up. This is comprised of both laminators and registration officers. For those that are doing additional, both in terms of the shifts, to manage the different shifts, as one cannot work throughout. There was an outcry.
Meanwhile, prison voters' registration exercise is expected to commence after the completion of the current phase. Come 12 December 2020, the system on the voters' registration kits will automatically shut, the Commission has disclosed.
Prisons voting, we did put out an announcement that prisons registration, voter registration, not voting, prisons voter registration will be conducted in the last phase of the exercise.
Only 15 days is left to register the remaining 6.3 million voters. Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News in Lusaka.
Well, I feel, like I said, you are entitled to your opinion. I am entitled to my own opinion. And the need for prisoners to vote, maybe they will just target Zambian ones.
And not the foreigners.
And maybe they do have their NRCs. We don't know.
For me, it doesn't.
I mean, this is a whole probably committee that gets to sit down and discuss, and even after most well-meaning Zambians were against prisoners voting, we did have a topic on this particular show, and 3/4, or let me say all the phone calls that we got were against this decision, of which even just getting information from the general public, we've had situations where people have been against, but I guess the commission did sit, and our leaders were able to decide to say, okay, we will have our prisoners vote anyway. So the registration, voter registration for our prisoners will soon start, just after they're done with the general citizens, so they will be able to go to the prisons and have the prisoners register as well, so that they can be able to vote in the general elections, that is 2021 general elections, to be held next year. Remember that you're reaching us on the number 0968675273. We do have a caller. Good morning. Please tell us your name and where you're calling us from.
Okay, go ahead, your contribution.
Yeah, it's very positive and it's very supportive to see how other countries are using. Because as of now, talking about the truth, we are supposed to be moving around 3,000, somewhere here to 2,000. That's the figure. Now some countries are below that. And now when we are telling them this truth, there are 2,000, they get down to little energy, they know what we are doing, which is very unfortunate. Again, they are contradicting themselves. You say the system will automatically stop control. Of which again, you say after that, they will get a prisoners. What system will they use? That is another contradiction. So the next thing they can do is that they will need to do the advice. And they have been advised before the process started that it is not practically possible to register 9,000 voters using evidence. And the answer which you were given was the every voting center. Don't be operated or be voter registration. But the thing at the ground, madam, is we are just allocated 7 days every polling station, which is unfortunate. Now consider the polling station has the 5,000 voters, and we are only allocated 7 days. Is it possible to capture 5,000 voters if you have 7 days? Certainly not. Which is unfortunate again. So these people, they are doing these things with the direction. Not that it's the arrogance, not that they do know that they are doing it to this direction. They only a certain number which they want to achieve. And they are closing many times. Now, which constitution are they using as now, where they are saying we are only going to the participation? Or which this thing we are advertising is not their continuity, it's not their continuity. But they are strictly putting it into processing. And I mean, these things we shall look at it as long as they are playing other people's minds. It is always a where it needs to wait straight for a little street. That reveals nothing. We have been having business all along. Seeing this thing we should go for a weekend. Coming from Kaunda, we have never ever experienced this drama we are experiencing right now. Some of us, we tell us about Garissa. Those who are not going to get the possible use, what are they going to do? Every minute the matter is going to these people, they are very slow. But at the end of the day, they are very slow. They are very so they just understand. If this money is possible. Very, 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 very big. Very, 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 very people who are responsible, very to those people who are in charge of these things. This is a put their house before that it will help us. Thank you very much.
Thank you
for
so
coming
much.
through.
We do appreciate every caller. I feel like if there is a show that gets to have so many callers, it's this one. Like it's call after call. I wish we could just have probably more time so that each one can get to express themselves. But we do appreciate all of you that get to call in and just give us your comment, your contribution. You keep us going, you encourage us, and you just keep the show going. So every Saturday, make sure that you tell a friend to tell their friend that there's probably going to be an interesting topic, and we can be able to move forward together as a country, because small good things are packaged in small packages. You don't know how we can be able to change on this particular show. Remember that the number is 0968-675-273. We'll be going on a break as we join our guests.
Yeah, we're getting on a break, and also as we prepare for World AIDS Day, which falls on the 1st of October 2020, we'll have someone who will light more on the theme.
Did you say October?
December, oh my god, December 2020.
So I'm shocked, I'm like, October, did we just go back to October?
And we'll have someone highlight more on what this year's theme will be about, and also not forgetting that there's 16 days of gender activism where there's women are voicing out to fight gender-based violence, considering the fact that the girl child as well as the woman is the victim most of the times. Hope that you're taking part in that one. And also on the other side, we take a break and then we continue with the conversation on the other side. Good morning.
Are you ready for the Operating in the Courts of Heaven Conference 2020? Your next level is here. Dr. Francis Miles, a world-renowned healing evangelist, international motivational speaker, and Bible teacher, is coming to the Republic of Zambia December 3rd through the 5th, 2020 for the Operating in the Courts of Heaven Conference.
We know the reputation of that altar. We are in trouble. It's in the Bible. The Philistines had more reverence for the ark of God than the men who were carrying it. This is the problem of the church.
Hosted by Pastors Moses and Victoria Chaluba of Healing Word Ministries International in Ibex Hill, opposite Hilltop Hospital. The conference theme is Issuing Divine Restraining Orders, Prosecuting Evil Altars from the Courts of Heaven. For more information, please call 260-962-965-883. To order Dr. Miles' new books, The Battle of Altars, Idol Riots, and Issuing Divine Restraining Orders from the Courts of Heaven, please call this number, 260-979-653-086. You can also purchase the books using mobile money on this same line on all networks. You can also bank e-wallet using the same line. Furthermore, you can also access Dr. Miles' books at his ministry office at Indeco House on 12th floor in room 1201. All of Dr. Miles' books will be available at Healing Word Ministries International during the conference. Come and get your books autographed by the men of God at the conference. See you there.
Hello, have you heard about Msika? Do you know that you can advertise for as low as 150 kwacha for 30 seconds? Well, Msika is here. Advertise on Msika between 17 hours and 18 hours. Just tell us about the services that you offer and we'll gladly put you on the market. For more details, you can contact +260 953 995099. +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467. Msika, allowing your business to grow.
Welcome back. You're still on the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show on not just another channel, Camnet TV right here. And this is the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show. Now joining me is an activist, Agnes Banda, who will be just highlighting more on this year's theme of World AIDS Day, which falls on the 1st of December every year. Madam Banda, good morning and welcome to the show.
Thank you, and good morning, listeners.
Yeah, so
viewers.
So tell us, who's Agnes Banda?
Well, Agnes Banda is a Zambian woman who was born some 50 years ago. I thank God for that.
Thank God.
And she's a teacher who was divorced a year after she was tested HIV positive. And that was, she was divorced in 2008, meaning I was tested HIV positive in 2007.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So now, with the Fast Track Action Plan, which was launched by the Lusaka City Council, aimed at ensuring that the city makes a lead to end HIV. So what's the action plan?
Yeah, the action plan, I've heard about it, and I've also read about it. It is something which is good to think in those lines, but I have a big question. The big question is how? Because if we just say things without implementing, then we are doing nothing. And if we are talking of implementing, how? How are we going to implement this? We might, send people maybe to talk to people, maybe just like we are here, using the media, using the maybe even gatherings, you talk to the people. But, it's really difficult to change people's behaviors at times. We should find out what is causing this, the cause, first of all. Why are people's behaviors the way they are? What is causing that? Because when we find the cause, it will be very easy for us to curb the problem. Let me talk about one thing. Right now, as we are talking, there's too much. It's just, I've never seen it before. What is happening nowadays? The youths are just doing things wrongly, very wrong things. They can have sex at will, anytime, anywhere they want to do it. Boyfriends and girlfriends walking hand in hand. Even where they are elderly people, they will just be going there. Even, holding their, the girl can be holding the boyfriend's waist like that. And everybody else is quiet. And we know that if you see that, it means something more is happening behind the
closed doors.
Yes. So those are the things that we need to look into. We should make sure that we should come up with a law to say, if you are not married, if you are still children, such behaviors should be displayed, yes, open like that.
Okay.
Even in secrecy, when you are caught, you will have to be punished.
Okay.
Then there's another issue which it is a very good issue, but I think we've mismanaged it. We've mishandled it. We've misinterpreted it. We've missed it. This is about the re-entry policy. The re-entry policy I'm talking about is a case where when a girl child is pregnant, that girl child is allowed to go and to have a baby.
And go back to school.
And go back to school. You know, in the past, when this re-entry policy was introduced, what it was that a girl child would be given leave. She would go back to school after the baby has stopped being breastfed. Yes. But this time, just 2 weeks after giving birth, the girl is back in class. I think there's a mistake there. Yes, that girl might lose time as you wait. But what are we teaching those other girls?
Okay.
What are they learning from this mother? What is this mother telling the young ones? You see? So we are not protecting those others. And the other thing is that the other thing where we've missed it is how many times should a girl be allowed to be pregnant?
When she's back in school.
How many when she's during the school period, how many times can a girl be allowed to be pregnant and go back to school, to get pregnant and go?
Very interesting concern on that one. Now, I'm sure that will be put into, because I think we should have actually have a topic and talk about it. Now, before we get to that one, now, the theme for this year's World AIDS Day is ending the HIV and AIDS pandemic. Do you think it's possible?
This is the same thing I'm talking about. It could be possible, but difficult, very difficult.
What measures do you think should be put to reach that target?
The measures can be, you know, at times involve people who are, like myself, people who are HIV positive, to talk to people, to tell them the experience of being HIV positive, so that they can have that fear in them. It's not easy. I am like this, the way I look. It's just by the grace of God, I know. It's the grace of God that I'm still like this. But at times, we might lose this grace because of what we do. You are HIV positive, you want to infect others deliberately. Then the will of God will run away from you. It will go. You are HIV positive, you don't want to pray to God. You don't want, you even go maybe to the sangomas, the witch doctors.
Trying to find cures.
For divination. You know that for sure that you are HIV positive, but you still want to go and find out who did this to me. They bewitched me. And the other thing, let me also not forget, at times even the church, there are pastors at times who deceive people. You know, I will pray for you, I'll give you water, and this water will heal you. Pastors, if you are doing that, pastor, if you know that that's what you are doing, I'm begging you, can you please stop it? Because you know it deep down your heart that you are lying. You are lying. God is watching. You should always fear God. Because, you know, more people have died just in that way. You see? So, these are the things that, you know, we have to look into. And probably for the youth, we start teaching them when they are still young to say there's HIV and AIDS. And those that get pregnant, we should not just let them like that.
Counsel them.
Counsel them. Tell them to say, you see, you got pregnant because you had unprotected sex. There was no barrier. Now, where a pregnancy can take place, what about the HIV infection? That's a sure thing. Because we might find out that after some years, these children who are mothers now, most of them might be HIV positive. What are we doing?
Yeah, great. So now, under 1 minute, before I let you go, what is your advice to that young person watching right now?
Yes. Young girl, you are still in school. Let those books be your friend. Not that boy. Not that young, that man. Do not love luxury. Don't love phones, hair, clothes, whatever. And on that one again, with the dress code also is very bad in our country. Parents, Makolo, let me even use Nyanja.
You are allowed to.
Makolo, I'm talking to you now. Please, Makolo, tisalekelele vana. Tisalekelele vana vatu. Chifukwa vana ava, ni Mulungu anatipasa. And ngati tilekelela vana ava kuti vaonongeke. Sin yava javana izankhala pamitu. Blood yava javana izankhala pamitu patu sema parents. Because vana, we are human beings. We were created in the image of God. Tikakamba kuti image of God, we don't mean the face of God. It is the paranachinso na Mulungu iyai. The image we are talking about here is the godliness that we have. God gave us that godliness in us. That's why we are supposed to love others, because God is love. And we should make sure that in loving others, it should start in our homes. We take care of our children. Teach them. Let them know that in this world there is sin. And when you sin, you go to destruction.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Banda, for coming through. I'm sure that someone who's watching us out there has learned one or two things. We'll surely look forward to inviting you again on set.
Before I go.
Yes, please.
I have a request. Just as I said, people of God, that I am a divorcee who is HIV positive. I think some days ago, the Camnet TV ran a news item which covered me. And this is about when I was tested, I had a plot, quite all right, in a very good place. But I had to sell it because I thought I was dying.
How is that progress going? How is that project going?
The first one, I sold it off. I said, let me eat my money before I die, because I thought I was dying soon. But then after seeing how God is blessing me with this good health, I realized to say, my thoughts are not God's thoughts. His thoughts are higher than my thoughts. His plans are good, always good for us. He can't plan for us to die. So I might reach retirement without anywhere to stay. And then what do? I will kill myself. That would be like suicide now. Because being without a place to live, I can't just imagine. So that's how I started the project. I got a loan from the banks. I started building a house. The house is almost, it is at a roof level. What is remaining, the major part which is remaining is the roofing.
Thank God. We'll surely get an update soon on how your project has gone. Yes. So now we take a break and then we continue with the other conversation on the other side.
Zambia, are you ready for the Operating in the Courts of Heaven Conference 2020? Your next level is here. Dr. Francis Miles, a world-renowned healing evangelist, international motivational speaker, and Bible teacher, is coming to the Republic of Zambia December 3rd through the 5th, 2020 for the Operating in the Courts of Heaven conference.
We know the reputation of that altar. We are in trouble. It's in the Bible. The Philistines had more reverence for the ark of God than the men who were carrying it. This is the problem of the church.
Hosted by Pastors Moses and Victoria Chaluba of Healing Word Ministries International and Ibex Hill opposite Hilltop Hospital. The conference theme is Issuing Divine Restraining Orders, Prosecuting Evil Altars from the Courts of Heaven. For more information, please call 260-962-965-883 to order Dr. Miles' new books, The Battle of Altars, Idol Riots, and Issuing Divine Restraining Orders from the Courts of Heaven. Please call this number, 260-979-653-086. You can also purchase the books using mobile money on the same line on all networks. You can also bank e-wallet using the same line. Furthermore, you can also access Dr. Miles' books at his ministry office at Indeco House on 12th floor in room 1201. All of Dr. Miles' books will be available at Healing Word Ministries International during the conference. Come and get your books autographed by the men of God at the conference. See you there.
Welcome back. You're still on the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show with me, Precious Mzea Sakaleji, and Banda Tandiwe on the other side. Now, getting into our second interview for the day, we're joined by Jeremiah Ngoma. I don't know how to say your middle name, so he's a paint artist, done quite a number of pieces. How is that going so far?
So far, so good. Let me start with my middle name.
Yes,
I think it's
Ikechukwu.
Yes.
Jeremiah Ikechukwu Ngoma.
Exactly.
Okay, so tell us, for those that don't know who Jeremiah is, who is Jeremiah?
Yeah, I think pretty much Jeremiah is just an upcoming visual artist and a teacher by profession. So that's it. Nothing.
What do you teach?
I teach art and design.
Ah, great. How is that going so far?
So far, so good, because I think for me, art is one of the only subjects out there that prepares a learner to go in the society and really just go and make a living.
Now, did you just wake up one day and decide to start painting? What made you realize that you are actually a good artist?
COVID-19.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it was, I want to be honest, I think it was, I did my first professional work, I was indoors at home because I was scared, I couldn't go out for like a week. Then I just thought, TV, I'm wasting so much time, let me just try and see if I could make something. So I did that, put it on my WhatsApp status, somebody saw it and they were like, what's that? I'm like, it's a painting. Who did it? I'm like, I've just done it. Oh, so how much is it? So I'm like, oh, okay.
So I can actually sell.
Yeah, so I can actually sell. That's when I started realizing, like, this is serious. And that person was like on the copper belt. They bought that small piece of work for like 500 kwacha.
Wow.
You know, and I had to put it on the bus for them. So that's how I started, just like that.
So we're talking of it being this year.
It's this year. You COVID, you know, it's this year.
I am very impressed, actually. How did that make you feel, knowing that something that you just did out of, let's call it boredom, earned you a couple of bucks? How did that make you feel?
Even up to now, I think it feels special because, you know, whenever we are teaching learners in school, we always tell them that art is a special subject, because even if you're not talented, for example, but you can learn the skill. Once you learn the skill, you don't need any capital to start. You know, you don't need any capital to start. You start with the most useless things, I would call them. I'll give you an example. Let's say a doormat. this is rainy season. There's no home that doesn't need a doormat. So an artist is the one behind such works. And I don't think anyone out there needs capital to come up with a doormat.
Just get some rugs from one of the tailors. I've done a doormat before.
That's what I'm talking about. So basically, I think that's that. You just start from there, you price it, and you get going.
Okay, so did you start teaching art and designing after you discovered that you can paint, or it was before?
I think I started with the teaching aspect first. And then I think I underestimated myself so much. So I didn't really have time to sit down to think of maybe making a painting or any form of art, because I thought maybe I can't make it out there. Until just one day I thought, no, I think let me try this.
Okay, so what's your creative process like? Do the paintings just come up, or do people ask you what to paint for them? How do you come up with the art?
Nature is what inspires most of my artworks. So I pretty much, for now, spend much of my time doing natural paintings, landscapes, so I would call them. So an idea will come, for example, of a tree. You know, maybe a tree that I only have in my head and I've never seen it. So I'll try and see if we could put it on canvas and see if people can appreciate that. Yeah, so basically I think it's nature that inspires most of my works. Yeah.
So now I'm looking at your paintings right now. I don't know if I can get a closer look at this one. Let me just move this here. So this looks like you were standing at or seated and looking at the window.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can able to get this. Like, are we able to get this a close up? So these are some of the paintings. Why would you underestimate yourself? It looks like you were just. I need to learn also. So, like, teaching someone how to do this. I don't need to go to school.
No, absolutely not.
It's like a skill.
No.
It's just something you can learn.
For example, if you are to be found with me who paints, definitely you will learn. You will learn the skill. But if you want to go commercial, you may need to just go to school for it. In Zambia, at the moment, I think Evelyn Horn College is where I went myself. That's where I went and got my paper for me to be able to teach in school. So they are like artists that are just freelancer kind of. They don't teach, but you go there to have documentation and paperwork. Just in case there's an organization that would want to maybe hire you as an artist, so you tell them, I've got papers. And you justify your price. But this is a skill that is learned. Some people are born with it without even realizing, but some have to learn it. Just like sports, for example. There are people that are really skillful and they are good at it, but there are some that if you given a chance, they learn here and there, they can also do it.
Great. So, what is your advice to that young artist out there that's underestimating themselves, just like you were underestimating yourself, but finally you put your work on a piece of art and it's actually pretty good? What is your advice to that young person?
To the young person, in fact, before I can go there, just 1 minute, I met a street kid one day in town, and he came with a painting. He was telling me, boss, I can paint, and lucky enough that day I had a painting in my car. So I gave him advice, like, look, if you really want someone, because I'm giving you coin right now, not to empower you, probably just want to use it for 1 or 2, but
coin is like for a sweet or something.
Yeah, but if you really want to make it, package yourself well. Get a proper proper base to put your work, so that even if I want to get your work to support you, I can basically hang it somewhere in my house and it will look okay. Materials that are found out there, we have plenty of material that you don't even have to spend money on. You just pick it, polish it, present it to people, and people appreciate. But for those that think this can't work, you are only wasting but your own time. You ask me, I am making a bit of money now.
Don't say a bit, just say money.
Okay, coin, basically. Yeah, sure. So don't even think of, don't think you can't do it, because the sky for me has never been the limit. Yeah, so we can, there's so much that we can do.
All right, thank you so much for coming through.
I appreciate.
So you are watching the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show. Unfortunately, we've come to the dying minute of the show. We just had a conversation earlier with Madam Agnes Banda, who is an activist, just highlighting more on World AIDS Day, which will be on the 1st of December 2020 under the theme Ending the HIV and AIDS Pandemic. And now we're just from talking to Jeremiah Ikechuku Ngoma, who is just who is an artist, and just giving us details on how he managed to make COVID work to his advantage, something like that. But I would love to thank everybody that came through, the calls, contributions, the comments on social media. We appreciate the effort that you made to actually wake up and watch the Rise and Thrive Breakfast Show. On behalf of Banda Tandi, where I am Precious Nzeya Sakaleji, from me and also Elijah and Isaac on the other side, it's good morning and have a beautiful day.